Good morning, everyone. So good to see you again. This is Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines from our city, our state, our country, and we take a look at some of your comments, ideas, and suggestions on how to have an amazing life here in Puerto Vallarta as a community of English-speaking locals. I'm looking at some of your comments already, and you are making me smile big time because you guys are awesome. I love this from Kelly. Good morning, she says. Thank you to everyone who came into my bookstore yesterday after the show. It was great meeting members of the cluster. How wonderful is that when we can point people in directions and it results on new people making connections and so forth. That's what it's all about. So we have all kinds of wonderful things to discuss today, but as always, we would like to welcome anyone to let us know that you are new to the broadcasts. Please write the word new in your comment and we'll give you a little welcome. If you have something truly important to say, we don't want to miss it, so please add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. And as you may recall from last week, we seem to have a surplus of walking activity, so I figured I would throw a poll, P-O-L-L, poll. I hate that word because I get it confused with the name of my friend Paul. Anyhow, where would you like to walk tomorrow? We have two walks that I am in the middle of editing. One would be my walk along Ecuador Street that took me all the way up to the hill, and I enjoyed a beautiful view from up there. Or we could we could take a look at the Malecón at night. So there should be a poll on your screen. I certainly hope that is the case. I'm going to refresh my screen just to make sure that the poll is working. And based on your answers, we'll figure out where we are walking tomorrow. Let's see what else we have. Where did the poll go? Let me just make sure that it is happening as it should. It says, okay, goody. You guys are answering. Fantastic. So we will take a look at the poll answers when we are done. With our news. But I'm going to very quickly address this because this is important. Doug is asking, someone asked if Wednesday Meet is for members only. Absolutely not. Wednesday Meet is for everyone and anyone that is either interested in getting to know more about Coffee and Headlines and who we are and why we like getting together, or is interested in knowing more about the new wonderful branch of Whiskey Kitchen. So Doug, if you have friends that you'd like to bring along or you'd like to spread the word, by all means, feel free to do that. And now let us dive into some of our news. Well, we had a long weekend. As you know, we mentioned this halfway through the weekend. We mentioned it on Monday. What am I talking about? We mentioned it just yesterday. That's where my memory is at. We had a long weekend, and the long weekend was actually very, very successful for the city. According to Municipal Tourism Director Ludwig Estrada Virgen, the average hotel occupancy was 95%, and many hotels were full to capacity. He also informed that the weekend was really, really beneficial to restaurants and other businesses. So I am sure that the business community of Puerto Vallarta is excited and looking forward to a very prosperous Semana Santa. I'm excited to having already started filling my refrigerator with essential things because, as you know, Semana Santa in my book is a time for us locals to chill and allow our tourist friends to enjoy our city. The news continue to be about the inauguration of the new Felipe Ángeles International Airport in Mexico City, which our president Andrés Manuel López Obrador said was 100% finished, but some details lingered. There are no restaurants there yet, no banks, no places to exchange your foreign currency, your lira or your dollars or your whatever. And there were not enough transportation options. So it was a complicated day, but it was a very well attended day, as we'll see in a little while. And some street vendors had a field day, and we'll have some snarky bits to share with you after the weather. Here's a bit of important news. Another important item in our president's agenda was to turn the Texcoco Lake into a protected area, and this is now a reality. Now, let's throw in a little bit of context here so we're all on the same page. Number one, Texcoco Lake is the lake where the Aztec set up shop once they founded the city of Tenochtitlan. So, in a sense, the whole of Mexico City, or the original city, was founded on that lake, on the Lake of Texcoco. It is also worth mentioning that before our president became president of Mexico, a huge new international airport was already underway. It was being constructed on the Lake of Texcoco. What you're seeing in this photograph is actually some of the foundations of the new airport that was already in construction at the Lake of Texcoco. Andrés Manuel López Obrador comes into office as our president, and what does he do? He shuts down the operation, which was a way to really put a damper on some of the plans that many corrupt people in the government were bound to benefit from. So he said, no, we're not having this airport built. We're stopping it, despite the fact that foundations and all kinds of stuff was already in place. And that's how the Felipe Ángeles Airport came to be. So to put matters, to put really the nail in the coffin by pronouncing this as a protected area, our president has in effect managed to make sure that this land is not going to be used in the future for more construction. It is going to be used only to protect some species of flora and fauna there. So our president is happy. At least he's happy for now. Our mayor, Puerto Vallarta Mayor Luis Michel, was one of the few mayors in the entire country that received an invitation to attend the inauguration of the new airport. And of course, he shares a close friendship with our president, so it makes sense that he would be there. Let's hope that they had time to discuss more catapults for our city, or at the very least, a little bit of TLC for Los Muertos here. And now, let's turn over to the weather. Spring, that time of year when the weather finally gets nice again, but you still stay inside playing video games. That, I can relate to that. Well, video games and movies and crocheting. I made a new coaster yesterday. The old coaster was starting to get a little sketchy, but I have a new coaster. So there. But that's not important. What is important is that it's 25 degrees right now. Humidity continues to be super low, 20%. What a great opportunity to go out and walk and explore the city. Um, our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 77 degrees, and our weather forecast for today says clear through the day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 15, cold at night. Tomorrow, Wednesday, another clear day, a high temperature of 30, and a cooler 14 degrees as our low temperature. And on Thursday, another clear day with a high of 31 and a low of 16. Moving right along with our headlines. Of course, everyone and anyone who should attend or should have attended the inauguration of the airport was there. It was a big shindig. And here we see our governor, Enrique Alfaro, also having attended. And he says on his Facebook page, I took advantage of the event to talk to the Secretary of Government to schedule a meeting with AMLO, our president, to go over some issues. Meanwhile, it is amusing for me to see that our governor needed to talk to someone else to get an appointment with the president, while our mayor has apparently just no problems having access to our president, the president of Mexico. How weird is that? And of course, our own mayor had to post on his Facebook page as well. But as we mentioned earlier, a lot of the street vendors, or a few street vendors, took advantage of the fact that the airport had nothing to eat. So they set up shop outside of the airport, where long lines of people formed to grab a bite because people were starving, and they formed a line to eat one of the humblest dishes in our traditional cuisine, and that would be tlayudas. And let me put that on the screen because it's one of those tricky words that you have to see in order to believe. Tlayuda. Come on. I want to type. Tlayuda. There you go. We don't have a lot of words with T and L next to one another. Tlayuda is one of those. So you try saying that. The T and the L get all the in the mouth. What is a tlayuda? It is a handmade dish in traditional Oaxacan cuisine that consists of a large, thin, crunchy fried or toasted tortilla covered with a spread of refried beans and other garnishes. They are more common in the center-south region of Mexico, so we don't get to see them here all that often. And it is worth mentioning the tlayudas simply because somebody gave our president slack over the fact that he had this amazing inauguration of a state-of-the-art international airport, and the only thing people had to eat were humble tlayudas. And of course, our president, loving criticism as much as he does, he was quick to reply, well, what did you expect us to serve? Hamburgers? Like those are the tortas from the United States? So, gotta love our president. He just does not like the criticism. Although it is fair to say that if our president says that the airport is ready at 100%, well, everything related to the airport should be ready at 100%. So when one of the viewers commented in yesterday's show notes, I can't wait to land at the new airport. Well, I would wait maybe a month so that everything that you need at the airport is actually in place. I have 3 events to share with you. It's only Tuesday, but we might as well start sharing some of the good things that we can do in our city. For starters, we have this exhibition that has been announced by Art Vallarta of a mixed media exhibition, which should be an excellent opportunity for all of us to get a good look at the many courses and workshops that are available there. As you know, Art Vallarta is the entity responsible for that new art museum that we visited about a month ago, and they have their main school is located in Amapas. It's easy to get to down Olas Altas Street, and they have courses in ceramics and painting and drawing and all kinds of things. And they have this special exhibition that is available for you to enjoy. Feel free to check it out if you are in that neck of the woods. And this is Taco Tuesday. We don't have new tacos to share, but we do have news of this taco fair that is going to be happening at Puerto Mágico, which is at the Maritime Terminal. If you love your tacos, you will be able to enjoy different types of tacos presented by a variety of taquerias and restaurants here in Puerto Vallarta. And of course, we wouldn't be Coffee and Headlines if we did not offer a reminder of the fact that we have our very first meet and greet tomorrow afternoon from 5 to 7 at the new and exciting, soon to open to the public Whiskey Kitchen here in Versailles. So we get a glimpse right before it opens to the public on April 1st. So I am hoping to see a lot of you there. Hopefully, we will all have the chance to meet one another in person and have a good time for a couple of hours. Now, let us take a quick look at some of your comments so that we can get into knowing what you're all about, what you're up to this morning. Ryan, you make me think of, with hello, 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 you make me think of the fact that I finally started watching the current season of RuPaul's Drag Race, and it is absolutely fascinating. And whenever RuPaul makes his grand entrance at the beginning of every episode, he always starts with hello, hello, hello. Lots of good mornings, which is great to see. I was very happy to see Dale saying good morning because, as you know, or maybe you don't know, Dale just came back from enjoying the Chepe. That is the Mexican train that goes through the Copper Canyon, and I am so eager to hear from your adventures, Dale. I hope we cross paths sometime in the near future, maybe even tomorrow. It would be good to know whether you had a wonderful trip or not. I sure hope you did. Let's see what else we have. Michael asks, who is the music by in the intro? The answer, and this may disappoint you, is I have no idea. This is licensable music that I found when we started Coffee and Headlines that somehow I felt reflected the spirit of what we are. You know, music and jazzy and perky and fun, but I cannot tell you who is playing, unfortunately, because I don't know. Let's see what else. Russ says, I'm going to have to go over to the marina now that I saw your walk. Well, don't have to go. Want to go, Russ. It is a wonderful place. If I was going to the marina just to check it out, I would want to get there for lunch, or I would want to get there for dinner. I would not only stay around Marina Vallarta, I maybe would try to find a way to get my feet in the sand, and some hotels may allow you to come in and have a cocktail at some of their restaurants. I mean, there are a lot of things you can enjoy at Marina Vallarta. Great food, great walking. And in fact, if you're going to go to Marina and just check it out for the first time, I would very strongly suggest that you make sure you can do it on a Thursday, because I believe the Marina Market is still meeting, and I believe they meet on Thursday evenings. If there are some folks that can confirm this, then I'm sure we would give Russ a lot of great reasons to explore Marina Vallarta, and anybody else that hasn't. Let's see what else. Da-da-da-dum. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Sending hugs. Liz sends hugs, and I'm a hug slut, so I always take a hug if I can get one. Kathleen says, can I comment on water testing in the Bay off Romantica? I have nothing to comment, Kathleen, because I have not seen any new headlines about it. So unfortunately, I have nothing to comment on that particular topic. But if there are any headlines that come across, we will be so very happy to share them. Let's see what else we have. Jenny says, yay, protection of the environment. Yay is right. We care about our excitement very much. That's John. He's going to check out the airport. I sure hope that by June, everything will be okay. John, I would imagine it should be. So I'll look forward to your comments, or anybody that enjoys the new airport. It would be great to find out what that is about. Paula says, have you ever considered some merch? I'd love to carry a Paco tote. There are so many companies that make it for you and drop ship. Good question. Have we ever considered some merch? Well, people have asked about t-shirts and things like that. I haven't considered merch because merch is something that puts my focus away from creating content. And in my mind, creating content and creating connections is the most important thing that I could be doing. If I was to get a sense that merch is really important, and that has to come from you, community. If somebody said to me merch is important, then we would veer in that general direction. But I don't think it is, but I could be wrong. Essentially, if you want merch, I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, we're going to continue to try to focus on connections and walks and all these news items that make us, well, pardon the pun, better connected. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Oh, great to hear. Dale says the Copper Canyon trip was wonderful, or I'm interpreting that smiley face as wonderful. Michael says that Panchos has tlayudas. I don't know Panchos. Maybe you're referring to Tacos Panchos. I don't know for certain. I don't know of a place that is just called Panchos. But there you go. Panchos has tlayudas, wherever that may be. Diane comments on the Copper Canyon. You've heard me talk about Copper Canyon. It's on my bucket list, and I so very much want to do it at some point. Let's see. Mark confirms that the market is still on Thursday evening. So if I was going to go to Marina Vallarta for the very first time, I would try to go on a Thursday evening. So maybe I would have lunch, a late lunch at Marina Vallarta, and then walk around, and then maybe get some nauseous at the market because the market has food. Or maybe start at the market and stay for dinner. I don't know, but combining the market is a good idea. Thank you for another confirmation, Kelly. The market officially starts at 6 p.m. Let's see what else. Oh, who knew? The intro music that I use is Over the Rainbow by Yusuke Shima per Google Music search. I had no idea. All I know is that I'm licensed to use it, but that's good to know. Merch can help you grow. Just a logo on a product is fun. Food for thought. Merch, t-shirts, people always want sizes and colors not in stock. Food for thought. Here's something else that makes me think about merch. You know, companies that sell merch are not companies that are located here in Puerto Vallarta for the most part. So would we want to encourage people to spend money elsewhere, or would we want to encourage people to spend money in Puerto Vallarta? I mean, I think it's the merch idea. I'm not saying it's bad or good. It's complicated. Hold on just a second. Oh, that was much needed. Let's see what else. Oh, Michael confirms that Tacos Panchos is the place that sells it tlayudas. Food for thought. Charles says we could connect with cluster members if we saw them wearing an H&N t-shirt around town. What is H&N? I have no idea what that is. Happy and neutral, handsome and nourished, heavy and nasty. H&N, I am sure, means heavy and nasty. Dave asks, where is Tacos Panchos? Tacos Panchos is on Basilio Vadillo, almost at the corner with Olas Altas. These new companies make it for you, and you don't have to inventory it. You make a commission. I know, Paula. I'm going to be blatant and make more of a commission if you folks become members. So there's another question. Do I encourage you to buy merchandise, or do I encourage you to pursue a membership? Uh, uh, oh, Charles somehow got his initials wrong. He meant coffee and headlines, not heavy and nasty. My bad. Um, Check out cafepress.com. I will check it out. I will check it out. I will not dismiss an idea proposed by the cluster. I will see what it entails, and we'll take a look at that. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of today. Yay! We survived. We endured. We endured another coffee and headlines. I hope you had a good time. Have I any comments on Casa 449? I would if I knew what it was, but I have no idea what it is, so I have no comments on Casa 449. Oh, the poll. Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. The poll says that tomorrow we are walking down Ecuador Street. No problem. 58% of you wanted to see Ecuador Street. 42% wanted to see Malecon at night. The good thing is that we get to see them all eventually. But we will start tomorrow with Ecuador Street. Yay! Thank you very much for your feedback, and thank you very much for your comments. I see here that Casa 449 ID, fantastic. Food, amazing. So it's got to be a restaurant. Fair enough. That's it. Have a good day. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow afternoon.